And today we're looking at walking, so how to get you moving better every day in your walking patterns, which we're doing a lot of at the moment. So we're going to start with the feet just nice and wide and just reaching up to lengthen the spine. So reaching up, trying to touch the ceiling. I'm just going to move my monitor up a little bit. Okay, so reaching up, trying to touch the ceiling, lifting. The idea of this is to lengthen your spine. So if you've just got up from sitting on your chair at your, wherever you might be working from home, you might have come in from a long drive, we really need to try and lengthen the spine. So reach both arms up, look all the way up, and then let the arms lower and lower your eye line and feel hopefully that you've got the spine a little bit more lengthened. And then next thing we're going to do is place your hands on your shoulders and circle your elbows. So the idea for this is just to get that upper back, your thoracic spine really moving. So when we're walking well, we want a lengthened spine, we want the eye line up, we want the chest open. Where we're spending so much time these days sitting and rounded forwards, that's one of the things that restricts our everyday movement patterns. So I want to open up that chest. And then keep the hands on the shoulders and imagine there's a hula hoop at your shoulder height. And you're just going to gently, because we're still warming up, move those elbows around the inside of that hula hoop. Keep your head facing forwards if you can. So the elbows are just touching the inside of the hula hoop, and at the front and the back there's a bit of an overlap. And that's happening because I'm opening up my shoulders, my hips and my ankles all at the same time. And this is just a really nice way to mobilise your spine and keep it nice and free for rotation. Rotation is so important, but we want this opposite arm rotation in our upper body, especially for when we're walking well. Then let's take that hula hoop down to your hip level. And we're just going to hula hoop the hips all the way around. So touching the side of your hula hoop, if you put your hands there, you can sort of imagine that that's there. And touching the back of the hula hoop, and then make sure you drive the hips forwards into the front edge, front half of that hula hoop, and then changing direction. Lifting the rib cage off of the hips as we did at the very beginning is really important. If you're doing this and you're a little bit slumped, it's going to feel like everything is caught up, and we want to sort of stretch everything out, give your complicated joints like your hips, your shoulders, the space to be able to move. Great, and then let's bring the feet completely together. Bend your knees, place your hands on your knees. We're going to take circles of the knees, going all the way round. So focus on the biggest circle. So again, think about the hula hoop, or it's a much smaller hula hoop now. It's more of a hula hoop. Haven't got the full hoop going on here, but try and get those knees to go all the way around. So when you're taking, and you're going all the way around your feet basically, so you're bringing them forwards, you're going to the side, both knees are on the outside edge of one foot. As you go to the back part of your feet, you pretty much straighten your legs but stick your bottom out behind you. Go around the outside edge of the other foot and then forwards around your toes. Draw a circle, an equal circle if you can, around your feet. Changing direction. Have a little look down. What is going on at your ankles? Toes, ankles, knees. Hopefully this isn't hurting. If it's hurting, then that's a problem. Please stop. Don't ever do anything that's hurting you. But if it's a little bit uncomfortable just because it's tight and stiff, then that's not a bad thing. Go with it. Try and breathe, try and relax. So the important thing here that's going on as well is what's going on at those ankles. So think about the weight as it's going through your feet. So you're warming everything up. You might find when you're doing these things, so let's move on to the ankles now. So standing on one leg and just really relax in a really relaxed way, but it's a little bit uncomfortable. Circle your ankle round, and I'm sort of scrunching my toes over a bit. And it's not overly pleasant, but it's not painful, as I say. Going in both directions. So I'm getting lots of lovely stretching on the inside of my foot, top of my foot, outside of my foot. And then I'm going to change this slightly to dig the ball of the foot in more, apply more pressure, and I'm transferring my weight. I've transferred my weight over into that side, but I'm still trying to take the ankle in that nice big circle. So when you're doing this one, maybe change direction, the ankle is drawing a circle around your toes, sort of. The knees joining in a bit, the hips joining in a bit, but the focus is on the ankles. Swap to the other side. So why are we doing this? Because we need to have strong, malleable feet, and feet that are functional and alive, if you like. If you never do this sort of thing, and really you should have bare feet. I've got my socks on today, again, just so that you can really see what's going on with my feet. But walk around your house, at home, in your bare feet. Feel the floor. Get that connection with your skin, your toes. Make sure that you can move all your toes, because, and I'm just changing I've changed direction with that one and now pushing the ball of the foot in. So that when you're walking, maybe you're walking out on the coastal paths. I know a lot of people it's autumn in the UK, so a lot of people are walking in the woods. If you're going over uneven surfaces, and you might even trip, and if that ankle suddenly goes out to the side and it's never been there before, it hasn't been there for many years, you're going to get injured. The tissue isn't going to be able to cope with it. Whereas if you're doing this sort of thing, if you're lubricating the joints, it's going to be able to cope with whatever you throw at it. So we're going to come back to the feet towards the end. So the whole thing, we're looking at the whole body basically, so moving better every day for walking. So we've opened up the chest, we've lengthened the spine first of all, we've opened up the chest, we've just mobilised the hips, the knees, the ankles, got all that sort of stuff going. Let's look at just the swing, natural swing of the arms. So just maybe let your arms swing forwards and backwards, and as you lift them up and let them drop down. Imagine you've got water on your fingertips and you're sort of trying to shake it off. So there's that lovely weight through your arms. Yeah, great. And then we're lifting the arms up to the ceiling, and you're just going to reach up, again lengthening that spine, bend your knees and let those arms swing and drop quite heavy. I'm keeping my back fairly upright, but not too upright. I would have to lift my heels off if I stayed too upright, but make sure you're hinging at the hips. So dropping down, coming back up again. So it's the weight of the arms that I'm looking for here, thinking about just, and how far can they go back? So they should be able to swing quite naturally forwards and backwards. Brilliant. So let's look now at opening up the whole of your shoulder girdle. So let's take a movement called bow and arrow. I'm going to go completely sideways to start with. So your feet are just wide, shoulder width apart, and you're standing nice and upright. Hands are level with each other. And all I want you to do is set up your bow and arrow. So reach one arm forwards, pull the other elbow back. And it's quite fluid and quite relaxed. So from the front, my hips are staying fairly square, and then I'm pulling back with the shoulder and the elbow. So the elbow, so another, if you're struggling with that arm position, just maybe put your hands here and lift and lower elbows. Yeah, chicken wings, this one's called. So you're here, try and pull the elbow back. And notice, so it's really key, if I don't, I'm going to pull my right elbow back. If I don't reach the left arm forwards, it sort of goes to here and it's okay. But look what's happened to my shoulders, nothing basically. I haven't moved my shoulders, I've just pulled my elbow back, and that basically just gives me a bit of a stretch there. That's not what I'm after. I'm after this lovely rotation in your upper body. So my left arm reaches forwards and that frees up because this right shoulder pulls back. That frees me up to be able to come all the way back here. So my shoulders are pretty much facing the monitor now. Extend that arm, maybe look behind you and then sweep round. So reach one arm forwards, pull the other shoulder back, keep that elbow up if you can. Turn and look behind you. That might be not right for you, and then sweep round. So basically each time my palms are facing the same wall. So here they're facing that way. And then I'm sweeping round. When I'm going to the other side, both palms are facing the back of the room. So this is what's happening, essentially. Hips are facing forwards, palms are facing the same way. Shoulders have completely opened up. And then the other way, not quite so comfortable, but actually I can pretty much do that. I'm letting this hip open up a little bit, but it feels quite nice. Have a little test, or if you've got a big enough blank wall there. Good, so that's a loose bow and arrow. So we're going to take some arm swings and knee bends, excuse me, warming up the legs and taking that nice swing and that natural rotation which you want to be able to move efficiently, walk efficiently as well. So we are going to take an opposition swing. So exactly what we just did, but you're taking a little knee bend and you're lifting the arms up. Again, if I go to the side. So this time I am trying to keep my spine upright. I'm not looking to pitch forwards or anything. I've got really rubbish short Achilles, so I'm allowing my heels to come off a little bit. My head is facing forwards. So essentially, you're getting this nice rotation around the spine. Rotation in the spine is one of the movements that we lose quite quickly, but it's really, really key for everyday movement patterns. So we're now going to take a little exercise. I'm going to show you facing forwards first of all, and I'll do both sides. So we're going to take 3 arm swings. We're thinking about the arm that's coming forwards. So that's the third one, and then we're going to continue the arms moving in that same direction. You square your shoulders up, you pull what was the front arm back, and you finish off with that arm at the front. They're going on the other side. So I've got my right arm forwards, my left arm forwards, my right arm forwards, reaching up, square up, pulling the right arm back behind me, finishing with the right arm forwards. Little one for the brain as well. Good to work the brain. I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Let's just do once, let's do twice each side, facing forwards. I'm going to do one facing this way, I'm going to do another one turning to the side. So let's start with that right arm forwards. Make sure your palms are facing the same wall. So both palms for me are facing that way now. Both palms facing the other wall. Left arm forwards. Right arm forwards. Keep moving in the same direction. Pull the right shoulder back. Swing the right arm forwards. Where we started. Swapping over. Left arm 3. Right arm 2, left arm 1. Keep moving in the same direction. Square the shoulders up, pull your left shoulder back, finish with the left arm forwards. So don't overthink that end bit, just keep moving in the same direction. Here we go, one more time each side. Right arm, left arm, right arm, square your shoulders up, pull the right arm back, swing the right arm through. Last time, left arm, left arm, square the shoulders, left arm back and swing the left through. So hopefully a little bit of coordination, bit of brain work going on there. Okay, looking at an exercise to train standing on one leg, so strengthening the leg, and to train our sort of almost a static, a frozen walking position, if you like. So have your feet hip width apart. So hip width is the front of your hip bones here, and just for the moment transfer from one side to the other. So when I'm transferring from one side to the other, I'm going fully over onto one leg. But if you look at my torso, if you have one hand on your chest, one hand on your lower tummy, the torso isn't changing. The thing that's changing is my plumb line, that line straight down from the top hand through the lower hand, through the pubic bone to the floor. That plumb line is just changing its position in relationship to the floor. So my body is staying in the same shape. So come over onto your weaker side if you know you've got one. So we're standing on this one leg. Nice and straight if you can. Lift up out of the floor. Use the floor. And then just release the heel and place it back down of the other leg. And then as you get more confident with this, lift and lower that foot back down to the floor. Keep it a little bit apart from the other foot, but don't transfer that, don't take that plumb line back into the middle, and definitely don't go back onto that other foot. So we're standing over this leg really quite strongly. Good, we're going to make this a little bit harder. We're going to progress on the same side. So now lifting the knee and then lowering but not transferring the weight. Just lifting the leg up, putting the leg down. I'm just going to turn, I'm going to turn this way. So lifting the leg up, if you can, knee opposite your hip, tissue box, shoulders and hips square to your front. No shifting when you put that leg down, standing up out of this leg. It's quite hard work. Now lift that leg up, hold it there, take your opposite hand and keep the arm quite strong, and take your opposite arm actually, and your hand is outstretched. Push, so I'm going to need to face this way, push that arm across that way, take your knee across that way, but meet in the middle and switch on this lovely diagonal line across from your shoulder to your hips. Hold it there and then place the leg down, and then again lift the knee, push, count to 2, place it down. No change on this standing leg. My leg's starting to feel a little bit tired already. The standing leg, so you're working quite hard. 2 more if you can. So about 5 of each of these exercises, each of these movements. Good, and that's the last one. Now, we're staying on the same side. Think about your other arm. So you've got the arm that you're pushing against the knee. Take that hand and just bring your arm forwards and just feel this area around here. So around your shoulder blades. You know when you're giving yourself a little hug. Always a nice thing to do. Let's give ourselves a little hug there. So this arm, this shoulder blade, round sort of the back of your armpit, the shoulder blade, you're going to pull that back, and just that area. So, still on the same leg. Transfer over again if you've had a little sneaky break while I was talking there. So you're lifting that knee, pushing the hand and making contact, and then just pulling. Using the muscles around your rib cage to pull that shoulder blade back. Place the foot down, lift the knee, push the hand, and take that very slight twist. So in doing this, 3 more if you can, lift the knee, place the hand, push, and a slight rotation. You're keeping your pelvis really stable, and you're just working the muscles to just allow that little bit of extra rotation, and using the muscles in the back line of the body. That's what we don't do very often. I think this is probably an extra one. Billy bonus there. Good, okay. We're going to add on, this is the last thing on this same leg. So you're going to lift the knee, you're going to push your hand into your knee. Then you're going to bend the standing leg, take the other leg back into the floor, put it in the floor, swing the same arm as the back leg up so it's by your ear. So you're creating this wonderful diagonal line. and then lifting, straightening the standing leg, pushing into that opposite knee, pulling that shoulder back a little bit. Bend the standing leg, sweep the arm up by your ear. Your tissue box, this is really hard work now, your tissue box is staying forwards, it's staying square. A couple more if you can. So everything is square, I'm pushing against that knee, swinging the leg back. That leg is going out behind my hip. This knee is over my toes. The arm is up by my ear. My spine hasn't changed at all. Last one. And reaching back, handstanding. And that might have been a little bit of hard work. Good. Hopefully you've made some muscles work. That's great. Let's do all of that on the other side. So come back to your starting position, feet hip width apart. Remembering you've always got a stronger and a weaker side. You probably did your stronger side just now because you didn't really think about it. Maybe you don't know which is your weaker side, but naturally we default to the stronger side. So over to the other side, hands one above the other. Make sure as you look down, that plumb line is now over that standing foot. So there's a good thing to be able to do. I can tap that standing foot and there's no change, nothing has changed. So you can put that foot down, but I'm not putting my weight into it. I'm not shifting at all. So take the hands away. Let's lift and lower, and lift and lower. Bringing this knee opposite your hip if you can. I'm going to turn sideways. No change, no shifting. I'm putting that foot down, but there's no weight on it. I could just swing it all about, but I don't need to. Okay, let's lift that knee. Take the opposite hand, nice straight arm, push. Push the knee outwards, pull the knee inwards, almost. So you're pushing across your midline with your hand and your arm, and you're pushing in towards your midline with the knee, and then place down. Same thing again. All the while standing out of that standing leg. Sounds like a weird thing to say, but this really is my pillar. The leg is beautifully straight. The ankle might be wobbling about a little bit. That's absolutely fine. You might not be able to even do this with your balance. So go next to a wall. You could be here, so that you've just got your shoulder just lightly touching that wall if you need to, for a bit of stability. Okay, let's add on. So give yourself a little hug there on that same side as the knee that's lifting. We're going to pull that shoulder blade back. So lifting the knee, pushing and opening up. Placing down. Lifting the knee, pushing across, open up. Use the muscles specifically there to do that. And little rotation. So it's like you've got this, you're freeing up your rib cage, your thoracic spine. As we warmed up at the beginning, lifting, pushing, pulling that shoulder blade back, armpit back, sort of opening up your armpit. Good, here we go for the grand finale. We're lifting the knee, we're pushing the opposite hand in, bending the standing leg, hinging over your hip, sweeping the arm up by your ear. So you're coming into this position. Again, if you need a bit of support, have that back arm. For me, I would be against touching the wall. So you're here, straight standing leg, upright spine. Still an upright spine, you're just on a diagonal. Nothing changes. Push into that leg. Bend the standing leg. Try and bring your arm up by your ear if you can. Try not to poke the chin forwards. Keep the back of the head and neck lengthened. Strong work. Last one, I do believe, is there. Ooh, give yourself a little shake of the legs. Okay, perfect. So I just wanted to finish off today thinking about the feet. So Let's come back to feet quite parallel. I'm going to go sideways, I think, and stand back a little bit. So first of all, we're going to pitch the weight forwards, and again, if you need a bit of support, by all means have a bit of support. You could have the back of a chair in front of you, hands on the back of the chair, or you could be facing a wall, just one fingertip of it on each hand. So lifting up onto the balls of the feet and lowering. Lift up and lower. Good. Then we're going to lift up, we're going to lower one heel and bend the toes over of the other foot. Back onto the balls of the feet, lower the other heel, bend your toes over. Lift and bend. It's like I'm trying to get this really nice stretch underneath my instep. From the front, we're rising, everything is staying in good alignment. You want to think about the gap between your big toe and your second toe, where you would wear your flip-flops. That's your point of pressure. So that we've already warmed up the ankle, but we're not allowing that ankle to collapse. This is about strengthening. Now lower the heel and bend the knee. Straighten the leg, rise up, lower the heel, bend the other knee. Again, I'm going to turn sideways. Bearing in mind I haven't got a very deep bend, but honestly I'm going as low as I can. Up to the top, lower the heel, bend the knee. Straighten the leg to the top. Lower the other heel, straight leg, bend the knee. Straighten up to the top, heel, bend the knee. Straighten to the top, last one, bend the knee. Straighten to the top. We're adding on one more thing. Lower the heel, bend the knee, pop the toes. So that's this little pop. I'm just pointing my foot. Ankle is already extended. To the top, lower the heel, bend the knee, pop the toes. So I call these, now try and make it quite fluid if you can. It's quite tough. I call these pony trots. Slow pony trots. I need to come back a little bit. So roll, this is to help you roll through the feet. Okay, here we go for the last thing. My Fred Flintstone walks. This is slightly weird if you've never done this before with me. So we're going to put the heel down. We're going to transfer through so that the weight is on the ball of the foot. As you lift that other leg up, you lift your heel. It's a bit strong on one leg. You put the heel down close to your big toe. Go through the ball of the foot, lift the heel. Heel, through to the ball of the foot, lift the heel. Look at my head. It stays at the same height all the way through. So basically I'm rolling through my ankles, keeping my legs bent. There's no change in my body, which is why I call it the Fred Flintstone walks. You can't really go around the corner with it. It only really works going forwards. Well done. So have a practice of that if that's something that's, that you would like to do. So basically the 5 things I'd like you to take away from this today with regards to your walking. When you are walking, treat it as an exercise. So just walk consciously or study your walking pattern every now and again. So we want the eye line to be up. You don't want to be looking down at the floor because that will just reinforces our forward head carriage, brings the shoulders round. So eye line up, chest lifted. So nice and open here. Again, if you're a little bit slumped, it pushes the head forwards. This is how we sit all day, every day. So open up the chest. Always wear your invisible crown, is what my friend, a card my friend gave me. So really, really good advice. Think of driving forwards with your hips. So as you step, taking quite big strides, push off from the back foot. This will also encourage you, as you're driving through, to roll through your feet. So whether you're landing heel, toe, I don't really want to get too much into that, but make sure those feet are nice and parallel. So as you're walking forwards, you're rolling through the feet, a bit like the Fred Flintstone. And then the last part was the upper body rotation. Let your arms swing. and maybe take some, I haven't got enough room in here, but maybe take some quite long strides and notice how that lovely natural rotation. If you find yourself doing this, especially on a longer stride, it just won't feel right. Although some of my clients do say that feels okay, but I know they're just trying to tease me. Opposite arm and leg, driving the hip forwards, always wear your invisible crown. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope to see you again soon.